1 after taking out Ocelot. Now we've got a little bit of action here down at the bottom. Ulti used actually from Nif, and we will see Sleazy go down. What's Wicked going to be able to do? Don't forget, those boots aren't there right now. Surely they'll be able to catch him. He does flash away back to the tower, and Farfane tried the bandage toss to get in on the action, and unfortunately he was slightly out of reach, but he's going to come up into the bush. The question is, will Candy and Nif think about that? Did they see it? Well, it doesn't matter now because he's walking away anyway.
Yeah, there's a ward there, so they've seen both Malzahar and Swain coming around, but that means they're surely going to go for the Dragon now, despite the fact they did just lose their Soraka. Soraka has respawned. Clairvoyance goes down. They know the rest of the team there, but remember, there is no Sona ulti. Anivia is going to come in, maybe try and get the ulti and try and get the steal. Ash Arrow does go out just as they're about to finish it off. Farfane does finish it with the smite. Ocelot does put the pressure onto Anivia, pushing her out of the fight. They have got a lot of damage down on them, but I don't think they're going to have enough to finish them off. They might be able to get Althor. It's him they're trying to go for. Oh, Warwick managed to get the hit. It was Farfane. Farfane did go down on Amumu. Warwick's Bloodthirster triggering... Bloodthirster? What is it? Blood Scent, isn't it? That triggers the visibility on the low hit points heroes. Meanwhile, that top turret did go down, so Rake continued to push. Despite the fact they lost Dragon, he's going to have to come back to cover off Ocelot. Meanwhile, the bottom turret's going to be pushed, and I think they might take it. Oh, and he's going to go for Wicked. Managed to put the ulti down on him. Ocelot is going to be going down, so very nicely done there. Kevin had come through, managed to get the ulti. Big damage burst on him. Xylor also going down, and the turret down. So 2 turrets down. Rake needs to be very careful here. Ocelot's going to come around the side. He's popped his ghost. Definitely ghost this time. I'm not lying. He's definitely got haste on. As I got caught out before with the ghost in the last game on Monday, when he didn't even have it on him. He didn't have ghost. So well done for Game. They lost the Dragon, but I think they won the war there, as it were. 7-1 in kills. And Rake just trying to steal that blue and very nearly did, but didn't quite get it. Ocelot managed to pick it up. Joe, 7-1, and Gamedde are looking strong. Bearing in mind, this is the third and final game of the upper bracket semi-final.
Yeah, this is, you know, where it actually really counts. And don't forget Gamedde's first game, where they played against Wizards. They were 1-0 down, and then they won the final 2 games. And against SK, they were 1-0 down. Looked like a dominant performance by SK, and it's now 1-1. And Gamedde have started off here really nicely with 17 minutes gone, 7-1 in the scoreline, and also the top and the bottom outer towers down already. It's a really, really great start for them.
Yeah, and I got to feel the mistake may have been by Wicked down there, obviously going Bloodthirster early. Well, it's great to get that damage. If you haven't got the mobility, which he certainly didn't, he actually pulled his teammates into fights rather than himself getting caught. He kind of pulled his teammates into the fights, trying to protect him when he was trying to escape, and that's where a couple of them got killed. That's where a couple of those kills got picked up. Couldn't get in, didn't have the mobility to get in there. Could have maybe gone for the BF sword and just a basic pair of boots, and then maybe even the lifesteal item. Meanwhile, Candy is going to come down. He's going to get the ulti in his face, but he's going to surely finish off Wicked down the bottom here. Oh my god, he's going to pop the ulti. Exhausted, go down really fun. Had to use the flash to finish him off, but he will finish him off, and that's going to be a feather in the cap for Candy. They're taking down Wicked. Wicked not having too much fun of it on Ash at the moment, despite the fact he's managed to farm very well in lane. Candy's going to have to be careful here. Oh, sorry. Ocelot is going to come around the side. He's going to Valkyrie away. Clairvoyance has gone down. I think he's going to get away quite easily, as he will do. So not really catching him out. Meanwhile, the mid turret has had a lot of pressure on it, so 2 being pulled away there, 3 as well if you count Wicked being killed. Meanwhile, they poked on towards that turret, taking half of the hit points off it, Joe.
Yeah, it's looking like a really solid performance from Gamedde. I mean, we look down the scoreboard. Kevin with Anivia, 5-1-0. We've got, obviously, Candy with Corky, 2-0-2. It's just a really nice start. Obviously, on that 1 kill that went against them where Kevin with Anivia got ganked up top. That kind of thing happens. And, you know, they've done a really, really great job of making sure that they... I don't know with Game, if you're against these top teams, don't get me wrong, Wizards are an amazing, amazing team. We've seen them playing some great games in EMS, for example. And SK, well, I don't really need to tell you that they're a great team. You already know it. And there must be so much pressure on Game, but they seem to be really playing best when they're under pressure somehow.
Yeah, and they've gained confidence from it as well. Obviously, they'd have gained a massive amount of confidence from it before. We saw it in the last game. I think they were so good in lane phase. Then they lost that big dragon fight, didn't they, in the last game? And then they won a few back, and then they chipped away, and they slowly kept winning the team fights. And as it is at the moment, they seem to start to win the team fights quite strongly. However, the fact that they don't have a recognisable tank may come around to bite them in the backside. The fact that Amumu is there. At the moment, they've done very well in the lane phase, so let's see how it transcends into late games. The fact that Amumu can, if he lands a good ulti, could turn it around very quickly, because Anivia has rebirth, that's fine, but Sonna's very low health. Actually, Rake's not too bad. He's built himself fairly big at the moment, but they have got a lot of ability, so that may well go to their advantage. A lot of ability power, sorry, is what I was trying to get to. The fact that, like you say, 5-0-1 for Kevin, he's been fed pretty well. That turret is surely going to go down. They're going to poke it away. They have that poke, and they have to continue this, though. They have to continue the pressure and not let SK manage to feed into it and set up a strong team fight. So as it is, they are going to back away. Cookie's going to go up top. I guess they've got the wards. He's finished that Trinity Force as well. He's going to clear out that stack up top and continue on the pressure. Like I say, they have to make sure they get the dragons there. They have to keep on top of that, because SK have been very clever with the dragon fights.
Yep, and next dragon is up 2140. About, said Nymph. Nymph. Okay.
What are you thinking about?
Slip of the tongue.
She said that.
Yeah. What was I talking about?
Yeah, you lost your train of thought there.
I've done myself. Over to you, Demon.
Yeah, so Rake returns to mid, and they're just clearing the stacks off. Obviously, Corky cleared the stack up top there. What's he been and bought? He's got himself another Doran's Blade there, so fancied a little bit of hit points. Got himself the Berserker Brutes completed, the Berserker Greaves, as it were. So they are going to go straight for Dragon. Remember, Trinity Force complete on Corky as well. Corky's going to come around late as well. That actually might work in his favour, because he's going to come around and go bang, surprise, straight out of the bush, straight onto Althor. Althor's going to be the target. They managed to get him down. Sonna managed to pull his ulti down as well. Sleazy is going to get caught out there, so Althor goes down, and they're going to come around the side. Ocelot, surely maybe they need to blind up Wicked there, because Wicked's doing a lot of damage. Xylo's going to back out of there. They need to deal with Wicked. He's on the side, not a Mumu. They do take Farfane down there. They're still not managed to take anyone down. He's going to go into the bush and taken down by Candy. That is 3-for-0 reply there. And Ocelot, well, he's going to try and catch on to Kevin. Kevin needs to be careful. He's going to get popped Rebirth. Actually, no, he's not, because he hasn't got Rebirth, so Ocelot does take him down. Kind of, I don't know, suicide in there. But Candy is going to come around. The Dragon being picked up by Gamedde, and I tell you what, he thought about it. He thought about it for a moment there, Candy. He thought, you know what, I could take Soraka. She's pretty, only 1,000 hit points. I could definitely take her, but instead they chose to back away. So 3-for-1 in the end. Now, not too sure why Kevin stuck around if he hadn't got Rebirth. I thought maybe he just didn't realise it. I don't know.
Yeah, and he's obviously given Ocelot 476 gold as well for that one, which is something that you never really need, but these things happen. Right now we've got Candy up by the Lizard buff on the game side. He'll get that without any problems. And I guess go back after he's out of mana, and probably got some spare cash lying around. As you mentioned, he did build that Trinity Force Berserker's Greaves as well. And taking the golems as well while he's up there. Why not? Let's see. Kevin moving down middle. Both Rake and Nif have already started to work over towards blue buff. And actually, they're in the process of taking it. And actually, SK have left it. They're a little bit worried there, I think, that someone was going to come in from the other side and try the steal on that blue buff. Or, of course, even worse than that. I mean, SK, do they have much of a vision on the map? Okay, a couple of wards. No, not really, right?
Something must have triggered them. They must have seen something. I didn't see whether anyone passed over a minion wave here that maybe triggered the fact that they were coming towards them. They are going to go back in for the blue buff again, but this is how desperate it's got for SK at the moment. They're getting very cautious and having to stack 4 people just to take the blue buff and be defensive in it. The Clairvoyant's going down there. You can just see it at the back there. So they're using Clairvoyance to defend the fact that they're getting blue buff, because they are 11-2 down in kills. That is a big advantage. CS-wise, it's pretty even, it has to be said. So really, it's all been about the kills at the moment. And Gamedde has been absolutely dominant so far. We've seen it. We've said it in a few games, and he, whoever the heck it is on Gamedde. I mean, you could take Gamedde, but I don't know. She-male or whatever. that's harsh, because we don't know who it is. But anyway, Gamedde has been very strong on these attack damage heroes. But we've said it before about Wicked, and Wicked's just not been able to. I don't know what's happened to him in this game, but he's just not quite been able to be able to do it. He's doing perfectly fine. He's got actually 0-3-0. Yeah, so it's just not working out for him on Ash at the moment, as it did on Misfortune in the last game. Stacking up, they've taken the red buff there, so Lizard buff gone on to Gamedde. And we have Ability Power Potion, Brilliance Potion. It's been running for a while, I think, on Kevin. Hasn't completed the Rabadon's Death Cap yet. Has actually gone towards a Negatron Cloak, so going to get a little bit of magic defense, probably against Swain and Malzahar. They're going to continue pushing on towards this tower. They don't really have that much of a minion stack, but they are going to try and do as much damage as possible. Tried to catch the stun onto Wicked there, that long wall, so he's leveled up the wall. As he hasn't got 18 yet, so he's leveled up that wall pretty far to have it that big this early on. So Kevin is going to come around the side, ulti farm, and continue to push on the tower. They have stacks in every lane as well. They've got a fairly large stack up top, so that's going to need dealing with, or there's going to be damage on the turret. Meanwhile, they are going to back away. What time did he say Dragon's due? 28-29. So it's another 3 minutes away. So I don't know why they're going towards there. Whether they're just going to trap in the jungle, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I like what they've done. They've taken a fair amount out of the SK jungle. First of all, the Lizard buff, then took the golems away, and every little bit helps, I suppose, when you're just trying to out-level. Now it looks like they may go try and do the same in the top side, although there isn't actually anything to be taken. So maybe a bit of pressure on this mid tower. Yeah, it certainly looks that way. They've got a couple of minions there. Nothing really to write home about, but still damage here, damage there. At some point, they're going to get themselves an opening. There's Gamedde as well, just taking away the Wraith from SK's side. Just as a whole, generally, for Gamedde, it just looks really promising now.
Yeah, definitely. They're looking strong here. I'm very impressed with how they've come out of this one, because they've generally seen SK could be very dominant in a team fight, but it's just not worked for them at the moment. Amumu's not been able to get there. They've not been able to land that ulti. If they do get an ulti going and nobody gets picked off, Ocelot and Althor as a AE partnership will do a hell of a lot of damage. So it could easily swing still. Which is what I think Gamedde are fully aware about. They need to be careful with Nif going in. Obviously they've got a ward there, but going in first, they need to just try and stay back. And whether he's trying to maybe get in and catch someone with an ulti, and SK just having to respond. They are in the defense mode, and as a player, if you sat there, there's nothing more frustrating than being in defense mode, because you can't go out and attack. You have to be patient. You have to be very strict with yourself. You can't go wandering in the jungle and getting caught. So it's for the sake of your own team, really. And Wicked's just going to continue farming. So Gamedde have full control, like you mentioned. They completely wiped out all the jungle. Golems have respawned, but they wiped out all of the jungle while they were in there. So they have starved SK of quite a lot of gold, quite a lot of experience. Let's have a look at if anyone is getting up there with the levels. Brand's currently the highest level on 15, a couple of 14s as well. CS-wise, 216 for Ash on Wicked. On Ash, Brand 166, 170, 180, 873 Malzahar. So, they're still fairly even, but Gamedde, it is more the fact that Anivia, compared to, say, Swain, Brand is quite far ahead. It's 50 CS ahead. And we're getting the dancing from Xylor while he waits for the dragon to spawn. So dragon spawning, and they're going to take it without a fight.
Yeah, and again, that's just greatly done by Gamedde. You see that I really like the ward placement as well, up by the SK blue buff from Gamedde. They've kind of warded every possible entry, exit, not only into